You all remember the power of words. When said and articulated in the right way, it can change someone's life. You can bring someone from the slums of life and make a successful person out of him. Thus spake the champion in 2015. And today we have the privilege to have that same champion here with us. If I have to introduce him, the list is very long. But then, I'm sure you all will agree with me. He is the pride of Toastmasters in Saudi Arabia. He is a magnet who has attracted thousands of Toastmasters since then and come here to witness this contest. Many who are present here and many who are not. So please put your hands together to welcome this world champion with a roof-shaking applause. The world champion 2015 with his title, keynote speech when you see it, Toastmaster Mohammed AlQahtani.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon.
Mohammed, would you please stand up, please? Come forward. Look at the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, please, just look how handsome. Mohammed, please get out. No, I'm serious, please get out. Get out of the head. I want you to leave the room.
You know I want...
No. I'm really honest, please leave.
Yeah.
But stay, okay, just stay outside.
You know I won't do it, you know?
No, I'm gonna invite you back in.
You will invite you? Yeah.
Just leave, dude. Sergeant Arms, please make sure that he's nowhere near the door.
Now we can talk about Mohammed.
Now we can talk about it. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you see?
His father is smiling, but the son is not.
No, hold on. This is only opening. So you think the son is not happy?
Yeah.
All right, fantastic. Anything else? Come on, everybody. Yes?
The father is playing with the...
All right, take a minute or two. Tell me what is wrong with this photo. You said too much sugar. All right, that's interesting. Anything else? Huh? I can't hear you. He doesn't have thumbs. All right? So, I with 4 fingers. See? Interesting. Yes. There is no mother in the photo. Yeah, so it's just, a guy and his grandson. Interesting. Anything else? You don't see his hand on the left side. What is it? The thumb is, he has no thumb. I don't know, maybe he has only 4 fingers. I don't know. Yes?
But the son is not.
No, hold on. This is only opening. So you think the son is not happy?
Yeah.
All right, fantastic. Anything else? Come on, everybody. Yes?
The father is playing with the stuff of the child.
So the father is taking the toys of the child to play with it?
Yeah.
All right. Now, can you invite him in, please? As I said, nobody says anything. Let's give him a big round of applause. Mohammed, can you come on stage, please? He does not like you right now. All right. Mohammed, could you please face the screen?
Don't give the audience your back.
Yeah, for this one. What does this picture make you feel? Now take your time.
Beach.
Nobody said anything. Okay, how do you feel when you see this picture?
I feel happy because smile contagious.
So you feel happy? Yeah. Anything else?
Learning, family.
All right, face the audience, please. He did not see the missing thumb. He did not see the too much sugar. He did not see the father who's taking toys from the boy. All he saw was just happiness and learning and joy. But when I told you there's something wrong with this photo, what happened? Everybody jumped in. Everybody saw something. Please give him a round of applause. Which means in a perfect situation, even if you have a perfect life, you can always find something to whine about, something to complain about, something that is not right. He did not see it, but you all did. And it's only when you see it. Ladies and gentlemen, the journey to happiness is a complicated one. It's long, sometimes hectic, takes years, sometimes a lot of failure. However, the journey to sadness and misery is an easy one. You could easily be sad. You could easily be miserable. Now, I could talk to you about how to become happy and how to find happiness within your own life, but you all know me, I'm lazy too. And I want to take the easy road. So today, we'll be talking about 10 steps how to become unhappy. 10 lessons that if you do them, you will guarantee to be miserable. Yeah, come on. You don't want to talk to anybody. You hate your life. And the thing is, most of the stuff that I'll be talking about today, you already are doing. But maybe you didn't know that you were doing it. So let's dive in. Number 1, stay indoors. We all know that every time you're not exposed to the sunlight, what happens to your body?
Vitamin D.
You have a vitamin D deficiency. What happens when you have a vitamin D deficiency? Depression. Now, it's easy for you to stay indoors. Why? Because you have your TV, you have your PlayStation, you have your mobile. Why do you need to go outside? There's a stay home. So the first key to be unhappy is to stay indoor as long as you can. In fact, stay in as much small space as possible. Work, eat, sleep, and watch TV all from your bed. You don't even have to leave the room. Sometimes I wake up in the morning, I pick up my phone, I watch some movies on my phone. I ask my wife, hey, get your breakfast. I eat my breakfast in my bed. The only time I leave my bed is to go to the bathroom. And then I go back to my bed. Live in as small a space as possible. When you do that, what happens? You're not moving your body, therefore you start to get sick. And what happens when you get sick? You stay at home more. So now the cycle repeats itself. And you stay home, and it's very easy for you to spend your time at home. There's so many things around you that doesn't even require you to get up from your bed and leave the house. How many of you have been doing that? How many of you wake up and just stay lazy in bed all day long? You see, you've been doing it all along. But now, you can see. Dum, dum, dum. Number two, deregulate your sleep. You see, a healthy and a happy person goes to sleep in a certain hour, wake up in a certain hour. Doesn't mind if you are a morning person or if you are a night person. As long as you sleep in a fixed time, you're guaranteed to have happiness in your life, which we do not want to do today, right?
Yes.
We want to remain unhappy. This is a regular sleep cycle. You might go to sleep at 9, maybe 10 p.m. In the weekend, you might reward yourself with sleeping a little bit late, but you still wake up early, around 8 to 9 in the morning. What I want you to do is this. Now, when you do a regular sleep cycle, something happens in your brain. When you go to bed every night, it takes you about 30 to 6 minutes to fall asleep. You just fall asleep. But you're still aware of what's happening around you. But you sleep. If I call your name, you'll open your eyes. Then, the deep sleep is from about 6 to 8 hours, when you have no recollection of what's happening around you. Something happens in your brain between the sleep state and the deep sleep state. Have you ever seen people who try to hypnotize? If you are a psychologist and you try to hypnotize people, you do not want them to sleep. You want them to get to that point where you have an access to their subconscious mind. Then you can put everything in there. This happens to you every night, by the way. For about 30 minutes, sometimes even less, you are in that state where you're not sleepy and you're not deep asleep, but your subconscious mind is open. This is the time that your brain uses to function your body. How does this happen? By the way, this is true, by the way. Every night, there's a meeting in your body. The brain needs a meeting. The attendees are the organs. And the brain asks the attendees, so what's up, you guys? Let's just give me the status report for what happened today. Every organ complains. Your stomach says, man, but this guy eats too much. I just can't keep up. بس يبلع. Your lungs complains. This guy smokes all day long. I can't breathe anymore. Your kidney complains. This guy drinks a lot of sugar, and so on. What does this do is the following. Your brain subconsciously start programming you, so the next day, you will not do the stuff that affects your body. How many of you here loves to eat pizza? It's a good one, yes. But maybe one day, you're like, I don't feel like eating pizza today.
Yes.
Even though you love pizza. But one day, I don't feel like it. Why? Because your mind now programmed you that you don't want pizza today. You probably want something a little bit healthier. You know, that's why doctors told you not to eat anything before 2 hours before you sleep. Why do you think that is? Because if you eat right before you sleep, your stomach will not attend this meeting. Still busy digesting. You can drink an hour before you go to sleep. Why? Your kidney will not attend this meeting. But if you live a healthy life, all your organs will attend this meeting and tell the brain what's going on. But hey, we don't want to be happy today. So let's do this. Let's deregulate our sleep. Tonight, go to sleep at 11. Tomorrow, you gotta take a nap to make up for the time that you didn't sleep last night. And because you took a nap, you're gonna sleep at 1. The day after, the deregulation keeps on going. The weekend comes, and because you haven't slept well all week, what do? You sleep all day long to reward yourself. What happens after you wake up from a 12-hour sleep? You have a headache, you're tired, and you think to yourself, oh my God, I wasted my weekend in bed. My weekend is gone and I'm just sleeping. And you start feeling what? Unhappy and guilty And this is what we're trying to do today. How many people have been doing this? Nights to nights, from bed, going to sleep. You have work tomorrow, but you just can't. Because you've been messing with your sleep all week long. And this will cause you eventually to be unhappy. Do we do this? How many of you do this? See? You've already done it. It's easy to do. But now, you can see it. Dum, dum, dum. Step number 3. Screen time. Now, your brain sometimes will work against you. Your brain, if you start implementing the first 2 steps, your brain will start thinking, this guy is not living well. I need to take charge. I need to set goals. I don't want to be, everything you've been doing so far drives you slowly to be unhappy. Your brain will resist and wants to be happy. How would your brain do that? You know what? Let's just have a goal in life. We chase that goal, we feel happiness when we achieve it. We don't want our brain to do that. We want to remain unhappy. So what do? Everybody, stick your mobiles out, please.
No.
Everybody. There you go. How many of you, even when I'm talking, you're still on your phone? This Qahtani's guy is not really as good as they thought. He's still going. We spend so much time on our phones, maybe playing video games or watching videos. We are not giving our brain the time to think. Every time our brain wants to do something new, no, come on, it's Candy Crush. Let's just... Every time our brain wants to take control, oh, check out this cat video on YouTube. We have started to trick our brain to focus on our screens. And it works well with the first step, deregulating your sleep. How do you do it? In bed. Just take your phone. Go on Facebook. Go on Twitter. Take some videos. Because you think to yourself, I'm just going to watch a video for like half an hour, around an hour.
You're done with it, what happens?
One more. One more. Your best friend in this phase, these two. I subscribed to Netflix recently. By the way, it's only $10 a month. It's not.
Can you share?
You watch one show, and at the end, what does Netflix do to you?
Play the next episode.
Do you want to play the next episode? I have work tomorrow, but I want to see what happens to Lisa in this episode. You watch the next one. At the end, what does it say? Do you want to watch it more? I don't know. Like Lisa died, but I don't know what happens to Jack. And so on and so on. And this will help you to deregulate your sleep by spending as much time on your phone as possible. You're tricking your mind to focus on videos and games and not pay attention to freeing yourself and doing something meaningful with your life. How many of you have been doing this? Me included, by the way. It's the easiest way to be unhappy. You've been doing it all along. But now, dum dum dum. Feed your negative emotions. The best emotions that you can feed yourself to remain unhappy are anger and sadness. Be angry and sad all the time. Put yourself in a position that will make you angry and sad all the time. How many of you here loves to play football? Now, you can do one thing. Get rest, go outside, invite your buddies, and go play some ball. You get exposed to sunlight. You move the blood in your body. You start to feel the happiness. Come on, who want to do that? You can just stay home and watch a game. And when you're watching a game, what happens?
You start to get angry.
You watching a game in Hilal al-Nasr, which happened a few weeks ago. And it said at the end of the match, and then you lose. And then you get in yourself angry. Here's the thing. You're getting yourself angry over something that you have no control over. So it lost. What can you do? Can you as an individual repeat the game? No. Can you ask someone to repeat the game? No. Nothing. But you're fueling yourself with this anger over nothing. And this is the best way for you to be unhappy. When you become angry about things that you have no control over. Why? Because you cannot do anything about it. And because you cannot do anything about it, you get even more frustrated. Here's another way that you can feed your negative emotion. Death. Remind yourself always that you are going to die. Mahmoud, you know that you're going to die, right?
I do now.
You know that your mom and dad will die too. You know that I will die as well. You know that everybody in this room will die. One day we will be under the ground. One day, okay, now look at his face. See, that is something that we have no control over. But when you keep reminding yourself that you're going to die, which you, of course you know that you will, but it's the only thing that occupies your mind. Sometimes something sneaks in your mind and say, well, if I'm going to die anyways, then why bother? Why should I do something about my life? Yeah, let me just live this routine life until I rot in the ground. Here are your best friends in this case. Facebook and Twitter. Now notice that I didn't put Instagram. Why? Because when you go to Instagram, you see how other people live. And it might actually drive you to, oh, you know what, I want to be like them. No, go to what people type, and what people write. A racist comment, a sexist comment, a comment that doesn't agree with your views. Oh, I don't read that then. And you start typing, and you start replying, and you start getting into wars with people that you don't even know. Why? Because you want to feel your anger and sadness. How many of you have been doing this? Come on, let's be honest. Oh, we all have. See? It's an easy step. And now, you can see it. You can see it. Number 5, set voted goals. Now, I know that you have no idea what that means. How many of you have heard of SMART goals?
Everybody.
Now, what does SMART goals stands for?
Specific,
Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. What I want from you to be unhappy is to set vague goals. What do you want to be? I want to be successful. What does that mean? I don't know. I just want to be successful. Undefined. Impossible. I want to be the first man to walk on the sun. Trivial and delayed. I want to lose 10 kilos. When? Oh, I don't know. Sometimes. When all your goals are vague, undefined, impossible, trivial, and delayed, you are setting yourself to failure. And you are setting yourself to put yourself in. And thus, increase your chance of being unhappy, which is what you're trying to do here today. Make sure that the goal and the path to the goal is unclear as possible. If somebody asks you what do you want to do in your life, your answer should be, oh man, I want to be something. How many of you have heard this phrase? I want to be something. You know, a TV is something. Aim for something beyond the goal that you want to reach. Why? Because when you aim higher than what you want to get, you are setting yourself to failure as well. Let's say I want to lose 10 kilograms. That's my aim. I want to look fit. No. I want to have muscles. I want to be a bodybuilder. I want to be a person who just walk into the room and everybody like, oh my God. Your aim was just to lose some weight, just to be healthy. But now you aim further because you want to convince yourself, you know what, I'm going to fail sometimes. And to do that, you go shopping. You go buy a suit that's not even your size. And you go home and you hang it in your closet. Why? Because you tell yourself, one day. One day I'm going to wear this. But however, every morning you open your closet. And every morning you see that suit. And every morning you hate yourself even more. Because you used to be 80 kilograms, now you're 85. Now you're 90. And that suit is slowly and slowly further away. And now you hate yourself more. And now you are unhappy. How many of you do that, by the way? Come on, let's be honest. See? Always been there. But now you can see. And that takes me to the next step. Buy things. You know, your mind, even though with all the stuff that you've been trying to corrupt it, will always try to bounce back. It will always try to save you. Your mind will have dreams of achieving goals and being the first to do something and having something meaningful in life. But also, we want to occupy our minds with debts, and bills, and loans. And that's why it's very important for you to go shopping. Ladies, go buy things that you don't even need. Go buy things just because it looks good. Max that credit card. It's maxed out, get another one. Max the second one. Max the third one. Why? What's happened? Then later in life, if you want to do something meaningful with your life, you tell yourself, oh, I'm sorry, I can't really afford it. I bought that car that I barely drove last year. Now I have a loan I have to pay. You could be in a job that you hate. But you don't have a motive to leave this job. Why? Because if you leave it, how do you pay your bills and how do you pay your loans? You know what, let me just stay in this job. Even though that I hate this job, let me just remain here. See, when you have enough money saved up, you can take risks. If it doesn't work, hey, at least I'm not broke. At least nobody wants money from me. So that's what. It's important for you to not save any money. In order for you to be unhappy, don't save any. Buy things that you need. Buy that suit that you think one day I will wear and hang it in your closet. You're not going to wear it, but hey, who cares? Buy it until you are crippled with the debt that you live your whole life just paying that debt. How many of you here have a loan in the bank? Oh, come on, don't lie. We all have. Now, some of these loans are big and some of them are small. Ask yourself, was it worth it? The thing that I got the loan for, was it worth it? If it's for your self-development to achieve something higher, then thank you, you are doing the right step. But if it's just to buy something luxurious, to buy a trip somewhere, or a car that you barely drive, then thank you, congratulations, you have crippled yourself to a debt that will not free you for years. And once you're freed and you want to do something with your life, guess what? Now it's too late. How many of you have been doing this for years? We all have. And now, you can see it. Number 7. correct approach to happiness. With all the things that I've told you about, your mind still struggling. Your mind still wants you to be happy. And after a while, we cannot fool the mind anymore. So what do? We fool the mind. Say, you know what, okay, you want to be happy? Let's make you happy. Your mind will always look at that island of happiness. Always dreaming to be there one day. Always thinking about it. So what do? We trick our mind to be happy.
How?
We feed our mind the trivial things that would make it happy. We tell our mind, oh, so you have vacation? All right, let's just take a week. Let's go to let's just take a friend and we'll fly to Vegas or Dubai or any of those places. Let's go. And we go there. And yes, for a few days, you're having fun. You're enjoying yourself. Then you're back. Wait, that's not what I want. I want something more. Oh, so you want something more? Up to buy this nice fancy purse that you've always wanted. Huh? And we go shopping. And we buy ourselves something fancy. We come home. Still not happy. So we're forcing our mind every now and then on trivial things to distract our mind from our goal. The big goal that will make us really happy in the long run. Imagine if you go fishing. How would you catch a fish? How do you catch a fish? No, you jump in with your hands. If you want to be unhappy, jump in with your hands. Try to catch it, it goes away. Try to catch it again, it goes away. After a while, what's going to happen? All the fish is going to leave you. Okay, this guy is crazy, he's just like with hands in the water. But how about if you stay in your boat? You move your own tactics. You're going to hook a bait, throw it, and wait. What's going to happen? Eventually the fish will come to you. When you try to push happiness too far, today I'm going to make myself happy. You're pushing yourself too hard. How about working on yourself first? Ask yourself, what will make me ultimately happy? Then what am I lacking in order for me to reach that goal? That will make me ultimately happy. So start working on yourself. Even though the journey might be too hard and too harsh, but start at least. Because eventually the fish will come to you. But hey, today we want to be unhappy. So let's distract our mind. Let's jump in the water, try to catch the fish with our hands. How many of us have been doing this? We all have. But now, you can see it. Be around real people. Now what do you mean by real people? You're always saying, I judge you by the people that you hang out with. Tell me who you hang out with, I'll tell you who you are. Now there are several types of people that will come into your life, but they are mainly categorized into three categories. You have the pessimists who tell you, are you stupid? Are you an idiot? No, you can't. No, this is impossible. You can't do this. And they crush your dreams. Now this group is easily avoidable. Because you know when they're nagging in your head, you don't want that too much negativity, so you leave this group. The other group is the optimists. Whatever you want, you can have. Dream as far as sky, you will reach. This is the group that will make you happy. We don't want this group. We want to remain happy. Now there's the realistic group. The group that gives you advices that sounds like they care about you. But what they're doing is they're creating more and more obstacles. You want to be a businesswoman? Oh, that's a great idea. You know what? Maybe one day you will, but you know, you need to get a permit from the government, and that's going to cost you, about $20,000. And then you have to have a study, and I don't know if you know anybody who's really good in business. That's going to take about 6 to 7 months. Then you have to take a loan from the bank that will cost you this much money. And then you need to find a location to put your store in. Now, I sounded at the beginning that I was supportive. But what I'm doing to you now is I'm giving you obstacles. Things that will make you think, you know what, this is too much. Maybe I really shouldn't do this. I thought it was an easy thing that I can jump into. No, it's not. Put yourself around real people. Those real people will always remind you that whatever you have in your mind is way too far than having thought. It's way, way out of your league. They're not going to tell you it's impossible, but whatever they're telling you makes you think that it is. How many of us have friends like that? See, you're already in the right way. And now, let's see. Number 9, compare yourself. They always say, you always compete with yourself. That's just nonsense. You compete with others. You have to win over others. And no matter how much you achieve, always compare yourself to others. We saw earlier today a line of DTMs on the stage. Is anybody here? No, anybody? Okay, you are? Please stand up. Let's give her a big round of applause. What's your name? Alia. How long have you been a Toastmaster?
Since 2012.
2012?
Yes.
And you got the TTM this year. You know, that's a really great accomplishment. You know, I've been a Toastmaster for 10 years, and I'm still not no, it's like I'm still not up to your level. So I look at you with admiration and envy that you're able to achieve something that high. Are you happy?
Very much, yeah.
You are very happy, right?
Yes.
Okay, stay standing, please. Sulaiman Mala, you're a DTM yourself, right?
Yes, sir.
Would you please stand up? So, yes, please go around. Now, aside from being a DTM, you're also our past district director, right?
Yes, sir.
Have you been a district director before?
No, alhamdulillah.
No. No, but he has. I see.
But she was a great supporter for me.
Please have a seat. Any other DTMs here in the room? Yes. When did you get your DTM?
2014? 2014.
14. You got it in 2018. I see. Please have a seat. Mr. Abdul Qasim, are you here? Oh, he's not here. Mr. Abdul Qasim is getting his DTM for the second time. Is this your first or second time? First. I see. And now all of a sudden this DTM of hers doesn't sound so beautiful anymore. Why? Because you start comparing yourself with people in the room. I haven't been a district director. Like it took me this long to be a DTM. And yes, I was proud of myself before, but now maybe I'm not anymore. By the way, I did that to myself too. Right after I won, I'm like, oh my God, the first Arab to ever win the world championship of public speaking. You know what? I'm going to Google the other world champions. Okay, Mr. So the Najaya is the first Asian. I'm the second. I see. But hey, it took me 6 years from ever joining Toastmasters until I won. That's good. 8 days. Joined Toastmasters and 6 months later became the world champion. It took me 6 years. I see. And so on until I felt even my accomplishment is worth nothing. Because I started comparing myself to others. Yes, you will achieve something big in your life, but guess what? There will always be someone ahead of you. That doesn't mean that your accomplishment is worthless. Why? Because there will always be people behind you who hasn't achieved what you achieved. But hey, we want to be unhappy. So let's just keep looking at those people who have done so much that we haven't. The more we have, whatever accomplishment that you achieve, you will hate yourself later. People come to you and say, congratulations. Yeah. And you try to achieve something more. You get something more, and you realize there's somebody already ahead of me. Congratulations. Yes. And thus you are unhappy. How many of you do that? You're already in the right track. been up there. But now, focus only on yourself. You know, if you go to the piers and you see people fish crabs, after they fish a crab, they put them in a barrel. And if you notice, the crab is still alive. But they never cover the barrel. They never do. However, the crabs never escape. Why? Because this is what happens. Every time a crab tries to climb up, another one says, no, I'm first. And climb his brother. And start to climb. And all of a sudden, everybody's grabbing, everybody's down. And thus, nobody is able to escape. Why? Because every crab thinking to themselves, I want to live. I don't care if the rest die. In order for you to be unhappy, do that. Be the crab. Make sure that your happiness means the destruction of everybody else. At your job, you see someone who's really good at their job, let's try to sabotage his work. So he can drop, I can go ahead. You're in a speech contest, go and watch all the other speakers and try to steal from the speeches. Just so when you present yours, theirs is becoming less relevant. Why? Because your success means the destruction of everybody else. But guess what happens? Once you reach the goal, and trust me, whether you do it in the right way or the wrong way, you could always reach. But when you reach the goal, you will celebrate alone. You got the promotion, and you got a cake. Nobody at work comes to say congratulations. And you're sitting there in the office with your lonely cake and your lonely knife. And you think, well, I've done everything just to get this recognition. I've risked the life of so many others just to get to where I am, and now everybody hates me. I am so unhappy. How many of you us do this? Or see people who do this? See? It's always been there. And now. You see, ladies and gentlemen, as I explained to you earlier, the road to unhappiness is easily achieved. Most of the stuff that I showed you here today, you're already doing. In fact, we do most of the stuff that we saw this meeting. Because we want to be unhappy. That's actually true. We want to be unhappy. We want people to come and say, hey, what's wrong? Are you okay? What's bothering you? Is something wrong? We want to feel the empathy of everybody else. But guess what? Sooner or later, people will move along. And you will remain by yourself in the corner crying. So, if you want to be unhappy, I gave you 10 steps to follow. And they're very easy steps. If you want to get happiness in your own life, please avoid everything that I just told you. Both steps are clear and easy to follow. Both steps, now you know what to do to achieve unhappiness or happiness. It's always been there. It's always been in your life. But now, thank you.
Thank you so much, AlQahtani. Maghazal. And for the best way to Syed Faisal to come on stage to celebrate Toastmasters Mohammed.